Now, we're on a walk right now. Lovely day, absolutely lovely day. But the downside of a dog with little legs. This is our dog walk. Callie, look at the camera. Why aren't you walking? Yeah, you're lazy. Lazy dog. So, what we wanted to talk to you guys about today was why we chose a camper van as our daily vehicle with a family.
You know how big my family was?
No, I don't know.
As big as the world!
As big as the world? Well, how did it fit in the world if it's as big as the world?
This is birdie one.
A little tiny birdie one.
You can take a little step.
Shall I strap you in? Who's first?
Me. Put it in your pocket. We'll go all scruffy fluffy.
It will go scruffy ruffy. Whoop.
Bye-bye.
Arm back through. You put your arm back through the wrong way.
Silly octo, silly octo. Silly octo. Silly octo.
So this video was meant to come out 6 hours ago, and we're a bit behind our plan. But we thought to ourselves we'd go one step further, and we'll also throw on a little bit of an extra. Lucky you, which is what we don't like. What actually is a burden versus a normal vehicle. We've had a history of impractical cars. We've had sports cars before the kids, and where you don't really care about practicality, right? And then the kids came along, and pushchairs, and car seats, and isofix, and hold on a second, you need a whole bag of nappies, you need wet wipes, you need copious amounts of everything. And that's where we started to look at the van. We used to have a van way back when, and the practicality was brilliant. But we didn't need it at that time. Then we got the kids, and that changed. So we spent a long while trying to get back on the van wagon, and we managed to finally do it a couple of years ago. And it wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy. And I did my maths, I did my convincing of Beth, my wife, and eventually we sort of got to that decision point. We found the right one, and we were able to do it. But there are a lot of thoughts that went through our heads, and I've tried to capture some of those thoughts now with the other side of the fence to help you if you're looking for it. If you're looking for a van and you're thinking whether or not it's for you, and hopefully you find value in it. So our top 5 reasons to have a camper van as your daily driver. Number 1 is this, practicality. So within our camper van at the moment, we've got everything we need from a parenting perspective. We've got the car seats in there, which are really easy to load the kids into. It's literally, you just kneel on the ground and, that's not me throwing the child, but put them in the chair, right? It's really easy to do. But then it's all the other stuff as well. So we've got two actual camping chairs in there for us. We've got the 2 camping chairs for the kids. We've got 2 picnic blankets. We've got the fridge. We've got the stove for whenever we need to do any food. We've got, the fridge for milk, as I said. We've got the cupboards, which are loaded with sauces, knives, forks, bowls, but also we've got a porta potty. We've got wet wipes. We've got nappies. We've got a change of clothes. No matter what the day has in store, we're ready for it. But also not just when you're being a parent, but let's say you need to do something like a tip run. We have a giant van. We can literally empty out our garage and go take it down the tip. So that's the first point. The second point is this, which is the art of the possible. Now, that sounds like a very fluffy sentiment, but it is exactly that. We've already got the van packed. At any moment, go have a day out. Doesn't matter where we go. We can go out to the beach. We've got swimwear in there. We've got towels in there. We've got fresh clothes in there. We could go to, I don't know, what's wrong with West Country then? Whatever the day holds in store, we're ready for it. We don't need to pack. And we found when we had a bog standard car, we'd spend most of our time trying to pack ready for that day out. And we don't have to do that anymore. Third point is cost. So we touched on this on the early video, which is, when you talk about depreciation and the value of the vehicle and all the rest of it. But the fact is that with a campervan, we don't have any more accommodation costs other than campsites at £20 a night, if that, sometimes maybe a little bit more at others. But other than that, we don't have any accommodation cost. So when we're looking at a holiday, they're that much cheaper. When you throw that cost into what it would cost, or what the van is costing you, take that out, and all of a sudden, your vehicle cost is that much cheaper. So that's a really great one. Fourth point is this, making the ordinary extraordinary. I love that title, I made it myself. Here's an example. We went for a dog walk earlier, and it was wet, it was miserable. We came back soaking wet, even though we had all the waterproof stuff in the van and we didn't use it. Another point, came back soaking wet. Well, you know what, we wrapped ourselves up in the towels and then the blankets, we got ourselves dry, we threw on the projector, watched a movie, whilst we did some food out of the fridge and on the stove. We just made a day of it, and the dogs stank in the van, but that's part of the memory, and that's what all this is about. It's making memories. And if it was a standard car, we'd have gone back home. Then the final point is this, driving. It's a daily vehicle for us. We do school runs, we do supermarket runs. Great, by the way, because you can do it whenever you want and then go out afterwards and still store it all in the fridge and it doesn't go off. But the driving of the van is actually really easy. A lot of people have this perspective that the van itself is big, lumbersome, cumbersome, large and tall and heavy. And the fact is, it's not, well, okay, it's heavy, but the rest of it doesn't matter. The footprint is no bigger than a Mondeo, so getting into a car space is the same as anywhere else. And actually, the creature comforts of driving beat any car I've ever owned. And I've had BMWs and I've had all sorts. It's the best. Our drivers and passenger seat, we have armrests. The back, ample room, the back rakes forward and back, and you can lounge back if you want, albeit we've got car seats there, so that's not really useful for us at the moment. You've got all that space. LED lights, you've got radar. It's efficient, it's 40 miles to the gallon most of the time for us. It's a really easy vehicle to drive. And a lot of people don't realise that, but with a high out view or vantage point and all the rest of it, you own the road. It's brilliant. So the first thing on our list for what you need to keep in mind if you were to get a campervan for your daily driver is the fact that this is a perfect opportunity for mess. Now, you probably know that kids bring a lot of mess. Your van is a small van with a lot of stuff. Kid, lots of stuff. Yes, not great. The second point that we had was the upfront cost. So getting a van, owning that camper van in the first place is tough. We took a lot of time to actually get to that position, and it's not easy. It's not easy, and I applaud anyone who manages it, because especially right now, but there's always the catch-all phrase which people say, oh yeah, but you could pay for a lot of holidays with that. Yes, we could. So the next one on our list was thinking ahead to the future, actually. The environment. It's a diesel. It's a 3.5 ton diesel van. It's not exactly healthy. And we do have our view on where we stand with that. and it's a conversation we have had, and we'll do a video on it, I'm sure. But you know, when you think this year, soaring temperatures in Europe, the ULEZ in London, for example, and restrictions on what vehicles can go through, the noose is tightening. Is it a vehicle for the future? An electric car would be potentially a better option. Again, another topic, but something to keep in mind. Our fourth point is height. So the van comes in, we've got a Volkswagen California, so it's not a thin pop top, but at the same time it's not big, it's not massive. We come in at 2 meters. Now, we also have solar panels, but they're slimline ones, so a little bit more. We err on the side of caution and we go, right, 2.1 is our limit. So that height limit of 2.1 is a consideration on every single journey we do. Every single journey. Very rarely are we impacted by it, but it's a consideration that we have to have for every single journey. And our fifth point is the dealer network. Now, for the Volkswagen California in particular, it's the commercial arm that deal with it. And it's slightly different for mainland Europe. But the challenge there is that to do a lot of the work, they've got to be a specialised technician. Not every Volkswagen dealer has that. And so quite often, you know, it's like the doctor, you go to the doctor once, they'll not be able to give you your specific diagnosis, and then you have to go get referred and all the rest of it. Very similar with that. If you've got any issues with the California, we had a pop-top issue at one point, and it took us 3 trips to actually get to the point where we knew what the problem was and they could actually rectify it. So it's something to keep in mind, which is, it's not like your bog standard car and you take it anywhere and it gets sold. Campers, they're specialised, they need people who know what to do on them. So that's our list of 5 things that we love about our Volkswagen California campervan as our daily driver, but also 5 things that actually we always have to consider, and you should too if you're making that move. And if you've already got a campervan, how does our list compare to yours? Do you have any other thoughts? Because we're all different, and I would love to find out what you guys think. So we're going to do a video in the future, which is a buyer's guide. Unlike a normal vehicle, buying a campervan, in some ways you're buying a house, right? Or you're buying a room. You're buying your sink, you're buying your waste tank, and all the rest of it. And there's a lot more to look at and to consider than just, does it run properly and does it have a service history? So stick around, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and we'll make sure that you're notified then when those videos come on out. Now, with that said, thank you for watching today, and we'll catch you next time. Bye now.